your life is at risk, that you are being surrounded by evil entities that you cannot see with your eyes because your heart is set on going throughout the day, focused on making your money, accumulating wealth, accumulating material things. See these beautiful houses? Someone wants to destroy everything you see and turn it into dark. And all they have to do is just to fool you that you are indestructible, that you have plenty of money and possessions, and that you've had it so good up until now. Oh, and that the end of the world has been predicted many times and it has not happened. Have you heard about what they say? Oh, there is only a spiritual war going on right now. We are living in this country in peace. Nothing can harm us. My country is one of the superpowers, and we have the greatest economy, plenty enough to survive with everything that I have accumulated, with a job that I got, with the family that I have. Don't be so childish and fool yourself with such lie. Everything can turn upside down in an instant when you least expect it. There is a covenant that has members of all ages from all countries doing sacrifices of children and adults, and they're having orgies as a special gift to bring something so dark. Because right now, it is being produced a species that's going to be a subservient to those at their command. They will do as they say. And while humans are becoming more awake and more alert to what the truth is, most of us have gotten tired of everything that we've had to go through, seeing so much suffering. One time, a long time ago, about 40 years ago, I heard my father say, I don't understand why is there so much sickness and so much poverty. And he said it and he was angry because he felt that he couldn't do anything. But yet at the time, he was doing something. He took a country, he adopted that country and started pouring money and built a project where he could pick up orphan children. He built an orphanage, and for 30 plus years, he rescued many of them until they became old enough for them to be educated to such point that they would become a citizen of their country, a hope for somebody, and somebody that could assist somebody, the next door neighbor. Because once they knew that they were on the streets without a father or a mother, nobody to care for them, but this one man that I always dreamed to imitate and follow his footsteps did for them, rescued them and offered them a chance at life, at being able to have that plate of food for lunch, dinner, have a bed that they could rest at, education, a book that they could read, be able to learn and not be continue being a savage with one leg less or one arm less, because this was in a third world country where the fertilizers, all those potent chemicals for an era, they were affecting all those mothers that were having children. So the children, they were born defective. Defective, it does not mean that they cannot continue surviving on their own. Just because they were missing a limb in their body, they saw them that they were not good enough to look at and be proud of. In many circumstances, pushed the mother to leave them on the streets, or maybe poverty was so severe that she could no longer feed that child, and she had to go find the way to survive. Now I tell you, what are you doing different in life to help humanity? What are you doing to help yourself? What are you doing to save yourself? Because you're not out to save the world. You know very well you cannot do that. All you can do is share share your heart, share a little bit of love within your heart. Open your heart and be love and compassion for somebody, and keep your eyes open that there is and there has always been evil entities wanting to destroy everything that is good. For all that is good was saved at one time by Jesus when he was promised that he could pick anything he wanted and that it would be his. His response was, "My kingdom is not of this world." And that is a fact. The richness that we see before you right now, that's not it. When your body dies, what happens with it? What do you think happens to your spirit? What happens to your soul? And there are many that think and want to have things easy come to them. Somebody came up to them and offered them the same offer they made to Jesus. Ask for as much and anything you want, and it shall be granted, it shall be given to you. And they sell the soul, which means that on a body and a mind, no matter how smart this mind is, how well educated you have become, it is soulless without a soul. And therefore, that entity takes over and possesses that body and goes through the world doing everything that they want, not caring who they hurt, who they manipulate, and trying to control people with with offerings of money and material things, a house, a car. Tell me, what is it that you desire? It could be one of the phrases that they use. Now I ask you, do you desire for the world to change to darkness and ashes, to where the human, or should I say, for the spirit that is living a human experience, will be destroyed and will not have a place, a physical place to be, to exist in. Many theories have been said, but very few know exactly the truth of what is. And you were created so powerful for you to create your days as you wished, for you to have everything that you want. Yet, since when do you think you have been living with a veil over your eyes? And what that movie that was made called The Matrix was revealing to you the manipulation of the human brain that lives under an illusion, limited thinking that everything is fine. And when you wake up, you realize it was all a lie. That is exactly what I am saying to you. I have come here. I was born from a woman and a man in the human body. I came to level consciousness. Why would I say that? Yes, I came to level up consciousness because humanity has lost it. Humanity has allowed the human conscious to be manipulated and be lied to and allow so many influences from institutions, from the food that we eat. And I say we eat, yes, because I eat as well. We don't know quite exactly what we're eating, but everything has additives that will allow you to continue in a cycle like the hamster in the wheel, thinking that you have to get up the next day and continue on to the same routine, the job, whether it's on the office or on the street, or traveling or driving to another place. You have set a routine. Can you remember everything that you went through since a child? Everything that you have lived through in your life? Can you say that you are 100% happy with everything that you have? What kind of power do you think you have when you allow all the laws to tell you what to do, from the way you eat to what you study, the payments on property, on houses, on food, cars? You owe nothing. If you don't pay, it will be taken away from you. It's a system that they set up in this matrix. And you know, if you fail to follow the rules, they are gonna take everything away from you. The moment you stop making money, you cannot pay the rent for existing. With the luxuries that you think that you have, pay attention to the news. The news have become an instrument to just reveal to you part of the 0.03% of the truth. It sounds like it's true, the truth, but it's not the whole truth. It's barely the truth. And guess what? In the education system, the same way. Everything that exists has been set up for the tiny little human as they see us, as they see us in such a way that we are only useful to them as long as they can control us. In the moment that you choose to rebel and be different and break away from the matrix with different education, chasing around how to open your eyes and choosing yourself to be loved, choosing yourself to be honored by yourself and not depend on anybody, be independent. That moment you start breaking away from the matrix. I have always been able to talk to people of different ages, different cultures, different ethics, and education levels so extreme. And I have noticed that I can talk to a doctor and ask them questions. The last one said, "Oh, I am just a messenger." That doctor, I have seen that doctor for 12 and a half years, receiving in all these patients. I've seen some of them that have died. The only interest in that system, in that particular section, is to keep the patients sicker and sicker, consuming the medication, going to the visits, regular visits. There are just a number. And according to the numbers that they can keep, according to the connections that they can make with that number, that's how nice and fat their check will be. I asked the question, what is the newest discovery in this disease? And the response was, well, we have talked about this from the beginning. Everything remains the same. And I said, what about all the money that is collected for new research, for the discovering of new solutions, new medication, new techniques to assist all these people? And that was the response. I am just a messenger. I could not believe that I was not upset. In the same tone that I am talking at this moment, they said, I don't understand why you are so upset. I said, I was curious. I hardly ever ask questions. I have been just contemplating and I see the truth. I've been thinking about a few things. And her inquiry was, she inquired about what was it that I was thinking about. I said, don't worry, you are just a messenger. I said that in my mind. I just held my words back and did not respond. Why? Because I noticed that even though she is a foreigner doctor, she does not have the consciousness level that she needs to have for the so-called doctor position that she holds. She has been submerged and blindfolded to follow a system that allowed her to study certain things, acquire that certification that says now you are a doctor, and they go to expensive seminars, $14,000 seminars, $5,000 seminars. It depends on what specialty they go to, just to see how others do things. But it's all a routine. Once they see, then they go, oh, maybe I can do that. But at the end of the day, their only concern is the amount of dollars that they get, because that will be assisting them on the size house that they can get, the vacations they can take at the end of the year or several times a year. Now, my question is to you, what are you thinking about? Can you hold off a conversation with anybody and go in depth and know exactly what they mean, or be able to test others and find out that so many people are living in misery, even if they have money and material things? Their heart is so sad. They probably don't even hold a partner, because the only way you can hold a partner is by having the choice within your heart to become vulnerable, that allows you to accept your mistakes with that partner and say, I made the mistake. And when they make a mistake, you accept their mistake and move together forward, accepting each other's differences, allowing that beautiful individuality that it is within each one of us that makes us so special. Yet, with this whole system that was set up, it has only been teaching us the 0.03%. Can you imagine? Basically, we do not know 99% of what the truth is. That one I was not able to rescue. You can try and rescue a little animal just as you can try and rescue a person. At one time, I could have been concerned about what people would think about what I was sharing. And guess what? As long as I can get to one person at the right timing and let them know that they can be different, that they can choose to do things different, that they can start evolving into the person that they are meant to be by opening up their heart and reaching for the stars, as some say, but finding out at the end of the tunnel that your potential it's right there, sitting right before your eyes, that it wasn't so hard. Can you possibly imagine what you would have to do to please those evil entities? And once you're no use to them, it will be your death. It will be your destruction. For I have been able to witness since I was a little girl people that attempted to manipulate and control others at the advice of somebody that called themselves experts in a particular field, and guide those people to control those others by any means. If I was to mention and say literally the things that I had seen back then, you would be disgusted to think that such thing is possible. Because guess what? As I have just said, you are blindfolded. Most of you are blindfolded, and you do not know that the world as it is, it's being destroyed. Many have said this is a spiritual war. It's a lot more than that. It begins with putting a blindfold over your eyes It continues with keeping you ignorant. And some people can take that offensive that you are called ignorant. The word ignorant means you are ignoring a lot of factors, a lot of facts, a lot of elements that are going on behind your back. Backstage, you don't see everything. When you see that actor come on stage and present to you exactly what they want, guess what? You do not know what they had to go through. You do not know their true intention. Look at Hollywood. How many people can you actually say that 50% of Hollywood are such good people? And with all the money that they make, they have done all these great charitable events to assist people. You see it whenever something major happens, it's all set up. So some of them will come up and start asking for money for whatever you can donate to the cause of XXX so we can help. It's all a setup, just like I can assure you and ask you the question at school, at college, at that expensive university you went to. Were you taught? Did they actually teach you how to manage your money? Did they teach you how to manage your thoughts? Did they teach you how to manage everything that you are and to go deep down in you and look exactly why we became the descendants of a monkey? Oh, because that's what I'm sure. I'm sure that's what you still think, that we are descendants of a monkey. And throughout the different generations, how was it that a woman became to be what a woman is today? So, if we are descendants of the monkeys, why are there still monkeys, gorillas? Whichever category you pick, why is it that they are still around? Why have they not evolved? Why do they still keep them in the zoos as entertainment? We are consuming today the product of a lot of stress throughout every generation. From the ancient Rome, people were entertained with fights of people and animals. And guess what? Let me introduce to you how smart the human cell is. When the human cell of your great 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 grandmother was alive, everything that your great 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 grandmother lived is saved in the memory of that particular cell. And then she had children, and then those cells, they held all that memory of those children, and then those children had children, and so on. Everything, all that was lived by those back generations, by our ancestors, has been in the memory of those cells. That's how smart the human cell is. If you want to think that you are descendant of a monkey, then I'm gonna say all those memories are in your monkey cells. If that's what you wish to continue believing, because that you will see it as your truth, as the cattle, the animals have become a subject of entertainment. For some, they also hold memory, which means we are automatically destroying ourselves by eating all that stress, all that memory, and all those cells that it comes from way back our ancestors, the beginning of our ancestors. And some wonder, why is it that nobody knows exactly how the pyramids came to be? What is the purpose of a pyramid? Why is it that some pyramids have been found with remnants, with residues of petroleum? In another episode, I will share with you my opinion. For at this moment, you may think that I have no idea what I'm saying, and you are right. If that's what you think, I agree with you 100%, because you will not see my truth. You will see your truth according to the level of consciousness that you have been able to evolve to. For those evil entities have programmed all of us. And since little, I've always been sort of rebellious, always worked for myself through thick and thin. I have made the choice to go out there and learn and for my